Hello everyone, this is Ether Dragon, and welcome back to another episode of Fire Emblem Heroes. So, Legendary Micaiah just came out. We all knew that she was eventually going to be a thing, and now she is. So, of course, that means we get to goofball with the meme team. Nino running a pretty standard set, running Flashing Blade because, as you'll see, we're not running as many front-loaded field buffs as usual in a lot of clears, so she actually can't proc Heavy Blade consistently against all the enemies, so we need to run Flashing Blade for the special acceleration. Adult Tiki here running kind of a jank set, but Ignis is useful, as we'll see, for picking up some important kills, and Speed Res form for the extra speed to avoid some doubles, and Res to just tank on the Res side better, because of course her Res stat's not the greatest. Legendary Zero running Defense Tactic, not Speed Tactic, as you'll see, because of what we do turn 1. And Brave Veronica running Drive Speed, mostly to help Adult Tiki avoid some doubles. So let's just get straight into it here, before we go into the actual meme clear. Let's just briefly talk about Legendary Micaiah. Pretty straightforward. Of course, she's a colorless tome infantry during wind season, so I definitely feel like wind season's pretty strong nowadays. Decently well-rounded. It's not perfect, but New Dawn, of course, pretty solid. More stats, can get a guaranteed follow-up attack, and even has Desperation too, which is pretty nice in matchups. And she does have a decent speed stat, so units like Fallen Edelgard, Brave Hector, all those units that deny follow-up attacks can just get doubled through still, assuming, of course, she procs the condition. Maiden Solace is just a nice, unique assist. Definitely will probably age decently because of the neutralizing any penalty that remains. But Pre-Science, I think that's what it is. I don't actually know. It's alright. -5 attack and res is a nice thing to have, and the damage reduction is super nice to have, but it's only 30%, and her base HP is pretty low, so not great in general. It's going to be useful, but in Abyssal, definitely useful to have 30% damage reduction. And Joint Distant Guard is, generally speaking, a direct upgrade to Distant Guard. There are some instances where you actually do want to not buff yourself for defense and res against ranged units, but those are pretty rare. But the main reason here why we're not running Speed Tactic is we're going to have Adult Tiki get panicked during one, so she can actually avoid picking up the kill on this Axe Fighter. And we run Defense Tactic just for the front-loaded buffs on Nino. Res Tactic doesn't quite work out as well for some AI manipulation reasons. There is a crud ton of AI manipulation in this clear, so it's pretty critical that everything is spot on damage calcs and all that. Lots of prep. But because of that, we have an Ignis that we're going to use later. But in the meantime, Nino can just go obliterate this blue mage. Absolute overkill. It does actually not matter too much here that we're proccing Dragon Fang, because everything works out for us in the end. But juicy Dragon Fang there. And at this point, we manipulate the AI in such a way where the green flower attacks first. That way they don't end up attacking Adult Tiki instead, which is kind of important. Nino's able to barely pick up the 1-round KO there, and easily is going to obliterate this Lance Cav with another Dragon Fang. And now Vantage is up and running, which is nice. So the number one source of AI manipulation we're going to abuse in this clear, of course, is this Cleric and Maiden Solace, because otherwise we just do not have enough time to murder everything. Legendary Micaiah is definitely the largest threat for us because, well, There's just no real way to one-shot her with 30% damage reduction with this team. So we have to deal with Miracle, and she has a pretty solid attack stat. So we can't just hit N-Churn in her face reliably. But here, Vantage doesn't matter here. It's later on where Vantage does shine. But with Desperation, the outcome would be the same here. Usually it's in these clears, it's a toss-up between running Desperation or Vantage. But here, Vantage proves to be much more useful. But here, once again, we're going to manipulate the AI continuously. Just keep attacking the Sword Knight. We can one-round KO him with Nino, but we don't, because stalling is much better for us here. And here, Adult Tiki has the Ignis up, so specifically so she can one-shot this Green Mage. Because otherwise, this Green Mage has Mirror Impact, Dull Range, and double Even Wave skills. And it's an even churn, so don't want him to get buffed with Blade Tome. That would not be good for us. But here, now we can dance Nino and absolutely obliterate this Axe Knight. And because we attacked the Sword Knight, and Micaiah is down on HP, the Cleric actually isn't going to attack any of our units because, well, the Cleric can't kill any of them in one round, so they're just going to prefer to heal rather than anything else here. And now here, we're going to do more AI manipulation. Just continue attacking the Sword Knight to stall time. And there's also this quite annoying thief here with Dragon Slasher and Low Attack Defense with Time's Pulse Glimmer for the extra salt. So Adult Tiki, this set is not engineered to tank this kind of thieves, so we gotta run. But good old AI manipulation doing things. Buying ourselves so much time, and now we can finally take out the Sword Knight and start picking apart the rest of the units one by one. Can now dance here, reposition, and put Tiki here. Because now the next unit up for business is the Thief, and because of Brave Veronica, we force the rally, and of course Legendary Micaiah wants to go after a particular cav unit with quite a low res stat, so that's great for us. And the also great thing for us on this map is the trenches, because this Green Cavalier is going to be unable to reach, which is super nice because that allows us to get away with taking out this thief without getting any of our other units attacked. Not entirely sure why they put the trenches here, maybe to oppress people who use cav units, like this team, cough cough, but still not enough. At this point, we're going to have Adult Tiki attack this Green Cavalier here. Get those Light Breath Plus buffs, and we can even dance Nino here to pick up the kill. Doesn't really matter here that Adult Tiki is going to be double baiting the blue Manakete and the heal Cleric here, because we have Speed Res form and Drive Speed and Leaf Scalp on Brave Veronica. So Adult Tiki does have a decent amount of speed, 46 to be exact, and so none of these units can actually double, and her res stat is decent enough to take these hits. So Tiki's going to be a bit down on HP, but more than enough to survive. And of course, Flash Plus being a troll. And now, of course, Legendary Micaiah is on her way to go terrorize. Can't quite kill this way, so we have to kill this way with Nino. And Dragon Fang's just absolute obliteration, not even close. And Adult Tiki now can pick up the one shot on the Cleric thanks to Ignis. Ignis is definitely quite useful in this clear. Pick up 2 critical one shots. And now, of course, because of these trenches, we gotta get Veronica out of here. So now we're going to execute the cheese part of the strategy. If you haven't figured it out already, this map is very cramped, so naturally we gotta do what any reasonable person would do and barricade Micaiah in. That's basically the only way we can possibly win this. So we're just going to... There's a slightly suboptimal setup for this, but it works nonetheless. Can go ahead and do this. Kai's of course going to go after Veronica, but now Adult Tiki can get danced here. And now we start the meme fest of attacking Micaiah a lot of times with Adult Tiki. She has Mystic Boost, which does make things take a bit longer, but she does have Fury 4, which is pretty nice for us. So it's gonna be a few attacks, just a few. But at least Brave Veronica is buffing and debuffing to make things like 1% faster. And well, we're just going to keep attacking with Adult Tiki until she finally picks up the kill. There's even a bit of lag going on, apparently, because the game can't handle us memeing this hard, Kappa. Yeah, that's the one issue with this map, is that it's super cramped, so this is a feasible strategy. Ignis doing quite a decent amount of damage here, making our lives a bit fast, making everything a bit quicker here. We have to also go through Miracle. Unfortunately, we don't quite get through to Ignis fast enough to pick up the one shot. But yep, we're just gonna keep attacking. The absolute bully fest. There's probably a faster way to do this, and of course we could take out Micaiah right now with Nino, but we're giving it to Adult Tiki because she definitely did a lot of important things in this clear. So, figured might as well give her some glory here. Of course, unfortunately, we're not fast enough to actually naturally double Micaiah. That would be fun, but unfortunately for us that can't happen. Also fortunate for us, in this case we're using Adult Tiki to take out Micaiah. If she wasn't running Fury, things would take even longer. It would end eventually, but you know, not the greatest, not the greatest clear time, but gets the job done. And there we go. Finally taking out Legendary Micaiah. So yeah, overall, Legendary Micaiah is just going to be a solid unit. Definitely going to be annoying in modes like Arena Assault. She is on the faster side. She's not a flyer like a lot of units running around, so in like Arena Assault, you can't just use an archer against her necessarily. So there's definitely going to be some annoyance with her. But at the end of the day, she's a very straightforward unit. I guess it's reset. So, voting gauntlet as well. Don't know what team I'm going to be on, but that's aside the point. That's going to be it for this episode. Thanks for watching. As always, this is Ether Dragon, and hope to see you all next time. Bye!